What's going on, guys? I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. You're a returning subscriber as always, guys. Welcome back, and I do appreciate the support. Guys, there's a big difference between an honest mistake and willful error. And both of them should be considered when you use the word forgiveness. Because in my opinion, honestly, I believe some things an apology won't fix. Such as today's case out of Volusia County, Florida. Shout out Volusia County. Enter this guy right here, Scott Gardner, a 33-year-old moron that don't have a lick of sense. And unbelievably, with the actions that he took, this guy's a father. Or he was one, of this little boy right here. This cute little boy, God rest his soul, is 18-month-old Sebastian Gardner. Mr. Gardner is his father and had sole custody of him. He had sole custody of his son. That's a gift. This guy right here left this child in a hot car, and that's not the beginning of it or the end. What he did after and how long this child was exposed to the elements is absolutely astonishing. This guy right here need to be drawn and quartered immediately. No court, no nothing. You told his story, the dumb stuff he did. Now get him out of here. Show him the bushes. I don't understand this. Take a look.
And you realize the little guy was dead. When he was in the bar drinking Fireball and beer, his son was dead.
Sad, disturbing new details in the death of a toddler in Volusia County. And this Volusia County man is accused of leaving his one-year-old son to die in a hot car. In the past hour, the sheriff provided new details on this. Volusia County community correspondent Molly Reed was there. And Molly, we know more now about the timeline of this young child's final few hours. Molly.
We sure do, Bridget. Sheriff Mike Chitwood today certainly did not hold back on his thoughts about this father, Scott Gardner, who is, of course, now in jail. And all the while, Sheriff Chitwood is talking about this horrific crime. Right behind him is this photo of 18-month-old Sebastian. The sheriff says Gardner left Sebastian in the car, went to get a haircut, and then walked next door to Hanky Panky's lounge to drink. He was there for hours. Gardner then drove to his mother's house a few miles away, where he then called 911. But at that point, the medical staff estimated Sebastian had already been dead for an hour. He was brought to the hospital where Ormond Beach officers and deputies started their investigation into Gardner. But that's not where his day stopped.
But it gets better. Father of the year, baby's dead, investigation is going on. What does he do? He picks up his mother and they go back to Hanky Panky's for a few more cocktails, and they're there until almost midnight. Now, I don't know what anybody here thinks or anybody can have sympathy for somebody like that, but my God, all of us that are fathers and grandfathers and mothers, and how in the world can you be so messed up that you would allow your child to sit back there in Florida in 90-degree weather, walk outside and check on some car and never go near your son?
Now, the sheriff tells me that Gardner did eventually own up to leaving Sebastian in the car on purpose, saying that he left a small battery-powered fan on him, thinking that would be enough. We're told that Sebastian's mother was no longer in the picture or really involved with his life. Gardner is expected to face a judge here later this afternoon. In Daytona Beach, Volusia County, I'm Molly Reed, News 6.
I'm News 6's Troy Campbell. Right now, I'm in Daytona Beach. I'm standing outside of the Volusia County Jail. That's because deputies say they arrested 33-year-old Scott Gardner, charged him with aggravated manslaughter of a child, saying he left his 18-month-old son, Sebastian, inside of his truck while he went inside of a bar for at least 3 hours and drank. Take a look. Volusia deputies and the Ormond Beach officer who tried to revive 18-month-old Sebastian, arresting 33-year-old Scott Gardner on Thursday.
Scott, watch your step. Be careful over here.
Love you guys. I don't even know where you guys are.
Down the road.
Because you're not going to come back here again.
Deputies say the toddler was left inside Gardner's truck back on the afternoon of Friday, June 6th for about 3 hours. While he got a haircut, and drank inside Hanky Panky's Lounge in Ormond Beach.
It is pretty aggravating. Like, it's, shocking at the same time, too.
Adam Haluska lives near the business.
You could just be drinking in a different setting, like at home, instead of being selfish and going out.
Investigators say 18-month-old Sebastian's body temperature reached 111 degrees. One of Gardner's neighbors tells News 6 he told her Sebastian died of a fever. Sadly, this isn't the first time this year there's been similar deaths in the U.S. According to NoHeatStroke.org, there have been 39 pediatric vehicular heat stroke deaths nationally in 2024. And 6 prior to this one so far in 2025. What is your reaction when I tell you that the sheriff's office says that a baby died in a hot vehicle here parked while the dad was inside drinking?
As a father of 2 children, it's despicable.
Stephen Mixix lives near the business and says it's an unthinkable tragedy.
We all know it's put on the news, and leaving kids in a car regardless is, that's just a recipe for disaster. And I know my kids, I would have never left them in the car then, wouldn't even now that they're a little bit older and can fend for themselves.
And Sheriff Mike Chitwood says he plans to speak about this case more on Friday. In the meantime, Gardner is locked up here at the Volusia County Jail without bond. I'm Troy Campbell reporting in Daytona Beach, News 6.
Contact.
Anything out here you should have right now? Wallet.
Scott, watch your step. Be careful over here.
Love you guys. Let me know where you guys are.
Down the road. Because you're not going to come back here again.
All right, guys, that's the story of Scott Gardner, 33-year-old monster. What he did, unacceptable and unforgiving, in my opinion. That little boy suffered. Hell, man, Florida's just as hot as Texas. And being in the car, 5 minutes can be deadly. You left that baby in that car for 3 hours. You went and got a fucking haircut with your baby in the car? Your little boy? Are you serious? Then came out, walked right out the barbershop, walked right in the other thing, didn't even check on his kid. You heard the excuse he said? I had a battery-operated fan in there to keep him cool. Yeah, blowing hot air on him in a hot car, circulating the hot air in the car as the temperatures continue to rise. That little boy suffered. When you dehydrate meat, right? There's a fan in there that blows hot air and it draws the moisture out. This little boy, not to be graphic, his brain cooked in his head. You got back in the car, the boy was dead. You drove around and then went with your mom after when a police investigation started and went back and drank again. You knew that baby was dead. You knew that baby was dead. But you had to figure out some type of excuse. Then when the heat got on your ass, you sat up there and I'll fess up to it. No, you don't have to fess up to it, motherfucker. We know you did it. The baby didn't lock itself in the car at 18 months old. It's crazy. People have children and they treat them like pets, not people. And that's the thing. To take the human element out of something, it makes it easier for you to do some inhumane shit. And that's as inhumane as it gets. And his punishment should be inhumane. They need to take him to one of the parts of the desert in the United States and stake him until he turns into beef jerky. Do him just like he did his damn kid. How neglectful are you as a father, the first and last line of defense for a child, your child, and you didn't protect them. You put them right out there in the line of fire on purpose. Purpose. Fuck this dude. I'm Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. There are some things that defy human logic from a standpoint of a male's protection of his kids. And this right here is one of them. I feel nothing for this dude. And he need to get everything that should be coming to him. And I damn sure wouldn't give him no deal. And he wouldn't get life in prison. That baby died a horrific death. And it was all because the father turned a blind eye in his own selfishness to go out there and live life as if he didn't even have a child. Then you seen your child was dead or in distress when you got in the car and you act like it was nothing and went and partied with mama. I'm done. See you in the next video. Take care.